Hey guys and welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you a OBS 31 update, an OBS 31.0.0 to be specific. So in the first instance I'll go over some smaller changes and fixes, and later I'll show you some bigger ones. But first guys, if you want, you can go down on this video in the comment section and click on the first comment that I pinned. This will bring you to my Fiverr, and here you can get a YouTube logo and banner or a modern minimalist YouTube logo and banner for your YouTube channel. But now back to the video. So I'm going to jump right in. Now first of all I'm going to say something very obvious but important, is that to make sure that Windows itself is up to date. And dus also, of course, OBS has the latest 31 update, obviously. Now, for people who haven't used OBS in a while, you can clearly see that there has been an UI change, so the layout is a bit different, especially if you go to the settings here. So I do want to mention here that you can do stable latest release in terms of the update channel, so that you make sure that it's actually up to date. And here you can also automatically check for updates on startup. That's what I definitely advise you. Now you can also, if you have access to it, do the data, so that you can actually have some access to the pre-releases version. So as I said here, it's probably pretty unstable because of course it's going to be in beta, so it isn't really fully up to performance yet. So that is something you could do if you have access to that. Now what I wanted to say specifically else for the UI is that if you go to appearance here, you can have the theme and the style here. That's actually put in a different tab here compared to how it used to be. And here of course you can still change the style here to whatever you want it to be. And then you click apply and OK every time. Now if you are back here, I can actually go to this little arrow here and change the canvas. Actually going to put this at full screen here. Now this might be a bit confusing, but what I specifically wanted to show you here is the scroll bar here, as you can see, to move the entire scene. And so you could actually also zoom out here, but specifically it's the scroll bar that has been added. If you add like a different scene here, you zoom out a bit. For the rest, hybrid MP4 is still in beta. What I also wanted to show you is screen captures and window captures are now empty when you add them. So when I add a new source, I can show you right here. For example, right click here, I do add and go to window capture here. Just gonna click OK here, you can call it whatever you want. As you can see here, it starts empty. In the past, it used to put the first window that will be in the drop down here and actually put that immediately right here. But of course, for security reasons, it doesn't immediately show you a window that you're capturing. And this can be useful while you're streaming, so that you don't accidentally share anything private upon sharing the screen. So that's definitely something that could be very useful. Also, as you can see here, capture the audio. At the same time, if you do, for example, a game capture as well, and you want to capture the audio at the same time, is also still in beta here. That's also still something you can check out if that's actually something you want to test out and play around with. Talking about streaming, they also enabled first-party YouTube chat features, so that you can also use features already supported in the YouTube chat plugin, such as creating pools, making Q&A sessions, and some emoji inputs as well. Now there are also new Nvidia filters that have been added, which if I scroll down here, now don't worry, I'll put this link into the description. So this is for Nvidia users. And so you already had the Nvidia video effects and the video audio effects, but you no longer need a plugin. It's immediately within OBS, and it's actually something I'll show you. Now for the Nvidia video effects, I don't have a webcam to show you, so I actually explain it to you visually. Basically you have the background blur, and background blur, that's up to you to what degree you put it up. You know, you don't have to put it all the way up, because that might be too much. Maybe somewhere around the middle might be good. It really depends on how much you want to blur off your actual background in your room. And you will be clear, of course, you will stand out, you'll be clear, but around the edges might be rough sometimes. So it's really something you have to check out for yourself if you want to use that. Say for the background removal actually is not bad. Of course you want to put it all the way to max if you really want to cut out everything around you except yourself, of course. It's actually pretty good for a background removal and follows your movements pretty well. And then you also have the general footage blur, so that's anything you're doing in terms of footage, which can be a gameplay. For example, well, you can also just blur the gameplay. Same, that's also something you can do, but blur it to a certain extent that you want. That's really something you have to check out for yourself. I can although show you the voice settings, so the Nvidia audio effects. So to put up the microphone here, you actually want to have a microphone right here. I can show you in settings. If you go to the audio tab here, you want to make sure that desktop audio is mostly going to be your speakers. So I'm listening into my headphones right now, but you should make sure it's selected on speakers. The microphone is whatever microphone you have. I have the microphone Blue Yeti, so this is the one that I selected here. And you want to make sure you click apply and OK. And basically to appear right here in the mixer here as one of the tracks. So you basically want to click and make sure, of course, it's the microphone. I'm going to click right here. I'm going to go to filters. And as you can see, these are the filters that I currently already have on my voice. I have a video about that, by the way, if you want to know exactly how I get the voice that I have right now in OBS. You can check that out up here in the right corner. If it's something that interests you. But in any case, what you can do here then is go to the little plus. And as you can see, I already downloaded and installed it. As you can see, I have it right here, the Nvidia audio effects. Simple as that. Now it will definitely affect my voice right here. And this is something, by the way, I would put above the gain here. If you really want to get technical here. If you're planning on watching that video, I will also show you why it is very important to put this into a certain order. But anyway, let's just put it here at the moment. Now I don't really know how this is going to sound. It might cut off a lot or not. It depends. So that's why basically if you put it up too high, because now I'm going to put it back a bit, might be a little bit more sound coming up here on the background. But basically this is something you don't want to put up too much or all the way up, generally speaking, because there are instances that your voice can cut off, which is definitely something you want to avoid. This has some room echo removal to it. This is something that's been added as well. Same, you really have to check out where you want this to be. And then you can also do here, as you can see, both at the same time. Also something you can actually go for here right now And same, you have to check that as well on your voice if that's actually something that you like and to which extent you want to use this if you're planning on using it. And so here you can right click and remove it in case you don't want to use it. But I do think it's worth the download, especially in case you want to have some noise suppression. It can be very useful. But once again, you have to recheck for yourself to which extent you want to use that. And I do think it's definitely worth the download if you're planning on using it. Now, generally speaking, some fixes like with the audio clipping. So that means when the sound is too loud, basically. And you can also see that in the audio waves. It's basically one rectangle audio wave because it's so loud that you don't have even different waveforms. But basically, when the audio is too loud, the audio clipping indicators, so that's actually the one that display the actual numbers of the volume meters, are actually fixed because at some point it was off, but that now has been fixed. And so they try to be as accurate as possible. Now, talking about Mac, there are improved error messages for Mac during the virtual camera. And so this is just a general layout and utility change as well. And also a crash on Mac that could occur if an audio device is disconnected. Now, talking about Linux, because Linux also have some quick fixes here. There's actually 2 crashes are fixed that are concerning the QSV encoder on Linux, so in case you're using that encoder. And also 2 potential crashes with the window capture. If you're actually using the window capture within Linux, should also be fixed by now if you were having problems with that. But that's it, guys. I really tried to go over the most important changes here, fixes, and new features that have been added to the OBS 31 update here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, would be really nice. Subscribe would also be really nice. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.